Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is the most fun game that has come out in years. Oh, I thought you said Tekken was your game of the year. Yeah, well, I changed my mind. This game has destroyed the fighting game genre of games and destroyed my work ethic as well. No other game can compare at the moment to it. The graphics, the maps, the interactions, the what-if storylines, the characters, the customization and choices you can make, it's all so cool, and all I can say is go on whatever console you have and buy this game now. Okay. Now we can get into the actual video. Seriously though, this game took the world by storm. 122,000 people were on Steam alone on the first day of release, not including how many were on Xbox and PlayStation. To put this in perspective, Street Fighter 6 had a peak of 65,000 people, Tekken 8 had a peak of 50,000 people, and right behind Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is Dragon Ball, which sold 3 million copies on its first day, where Smash Ultimate sold 5 million copies in its first week. To say that this game was hyped is an understatement, and just like Bandai's usual habits of day one releases, the servers couldn't handle the number of people that were trying to get on. This game was extremely anticipated by gamers around the world and was received extremely well, and for good reason, because the game just slaps. Everything about the combat in this game was polished to the point where you can feel like you're genuinely in a real Dragon Ball fight. You know that annoying thing in fighting games where they so much as touch you, and as long as they hit the right buttons in the right order, you can't get out of their combo until they mess it up? Well, in this game, that's a little different, because you actually get out of combos very easily by either countering or teleporting behind them during the right timing in their combos. It's so easy to counter that most fights in this game are just going to end up looking like this. Stop teleporting behind. But regardless of the minor adjustments that could be patched later on in the combat, this game feels fun and like a Dragon Ball fighting simulator. The story mode, however, is a bit lackluster in the eyes of we the people. The story mode is basically a slideshow with an occasional trashy PowerPoint on what happens in the anime. The sparking episodes are awesome in concept, but in execution, they're not very good, because once again, they are very low budget with the animation for the cutscenes. You can tell that the passion in this game went into combat, and although I'm glad that they polished the hell out of the combat, the fact that the campaign was a big part of the appeal of this game is really disappointing, because you'd think they'd put a little more effort into it. However, some episodes are cool, like the What If Goku Went Super Saiyan in the Saiyan Saga. This one felt very polished, but again suffers a bit later on from the PowerPoint presentation effect. I get the fact that the developers know we've seen the same story 1,000 times, but if you're gonna market this part of your game, then at least put some effort into the end result. Next off, I want to talk about the roster in this game, because there's a lot of characters in this game, not including the DLC that is already being teased. The meat of this game is in the graphics and combat, which excels in every aspect of possibility. As you can probably tell from my footage, I'm not very good at this game, but that's not important. What's important is that I'm having fun. The look and feel of this game overall is really smooth. I'm playing on Xbox, and the game still looks this good. No matter what system you get this game on, it's most likely going to run well as long as you have good internet. Speaking of internet, the people who play this game, they're gonna rage quit a lot. Just be prepared to see this if you're doing well. This isn't even a game issue, it's more of a skill issue on the other player's part. Anyways, as long as you have good internet and your opponent isn't a sore loser, you'll have a blast playing this game online. The only downside to this game is that on Xbox, the servers have been acting weird in the first few weeks of release, as per usual with Bandai, and while the developers have patched this for the most part, it can still take a few minutes to find a match sometimes. All you need to understand is that you need to put the settings on the most open options that you can for matchmaking, and get used to tossing Vegeta around before getting bored of waiting and going into the episode battles. Back to the roster though. The roster in this game is huge. You have people that aren't even that relevant, like Dr. Gero, Cooler, that one android that nobody likes. Everyone in this game has their own unique features, like Yajirobe, who costs 2 points but can respec his entire health bar with no effort. Not even Gogeta can do that. Yajirobe is stronger than Gogeta. Basically, if you want to have balance or a fair selection in this game, there is none because every character is broken. If you pick anyone, or if anyone tells you otherwise on who you can and cannot pick, just unfriend them and block them on everything, because everyone in this game has something that they bring to the table regarding features or playability. So don't listen to people who think that they know what they're talking about when they say, you can't play Gogeta, you can't play UI Goku. It doesn't matter what they think. Just block them on everything. Besides those issues, the main takeaway for this game is that it had a bit of a mixed launch on Xbox because the rest of the community was having a blast with this game while we watched like Squidward watching Patrick and SpongeBob from his window. I wish I could find a match, but all I can do is sit here and punch Vegeta until I get bored and go back to Battlefront. But now that all the patches have been released, we can play to our heart's content. So what else is cool about this game? The game looks good. Super fun to play. Oh yeah, the music. The music for this game brings back flashbacks of the original Z soundtrack, and oh my god, it still slaps to this day. This game's budget was used so wisely because someone put Mr. Zimmer on the aux. The maps are also really well designed, and the environment reacts very nicely to your fight based on how hard you hit your opponents and with what attacks you hit them with. They also took the most iconic maps and fights from the series and threw them together in a way that looks very nice. And also the special interactions between characters is pretty neat because it feels like the writers thought of every interaction possible, and there is so much more that I could go into with this game. I think I've made my point though now. This game is fire, the music slaps, the gameplay is polished and feels satisfying to play, and I could go on all day about this game, but in my humble opinion, buy this game right now. I'm serious. Stop wasting time and energy and buy it now, go on!